Hey, I'm Melissa.
And I'm Whitney.
We started this true crime podcast over a glass of wine and quickly turned from true crime listeners into true crime advocates.
So get comfy, pop a cork, and grab a glass because we have work to do.
This is Cults, Crimes, and Cabernet. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. And 2023 is already off to a good start.
Yes, I can't complain. Just got back from vacation. Quick little trip up to the Arctic snow. Actually, it was very warm while I was there in Chicago and Milwaukee. Very warm, 40s to 60s. So,
Wow. It was not warm in Colorado. It was
yeah,
negative temperatures in Colorado. So I don't have the same experience.
definitely not. They say the week before it was record-breaking coldness up there as well. I'm so glad we went a week later. So,
Yeah.
yeah, what else we got going on?
It's a slow start to the year, but we've got lots of things planned. Most importantly, CrimeCon UK in June. We're going to London.
Yes, so exciting. And I really need to check my passport. I'm 99% sure it doesn't expire yet.
Hope I get mine back. I sent mine off for renewal, so let's hope it comes back. Every day I'm like, is it in the mail today? Nope, it's not.
But
So,
how it's going to be a nice surprise when it's actually there.
yes, I won't start panicking until it's 2 months out from June. Then it's okay. Now I really got to figure this out or I can't go.
Yeah. And I will be panicking with you because there's no way in heck I'm traveling over there by myself. So,
Of course.
yeah,
All right. You got a wine today?
I do. I am drinking Rosa Obscura. It is a 2018 red blend, beautiful blue rose pattern on it. It's definitely good. I can taste the sulfites. 14.2 alcohol.
Oh,
It's a little much. So I better only have one glass of this.
take your time on that one.
Definitely. It's very good. I like it.
All right. Let's get into it.
We are traveling to the town of Dubuque, Iowa. This town has about 60,000 people in it, according to the 2020 census. And it is in the junction between three different states. We've got Iowa, of course, Illinois, and Wisconsin are all right there.
Huh.
Yes. I love it when a town is so close to other states. I don't know why.
Yeah. Okay. It's like in Missouri where St. Louis is basically on both sides of the river. It's you're either on the Illinois side of St. Louis or the Missouri side of St. Louis.
Exactly. There are 5 colleges in this town, and for being less than 60,000 people, that's quite a lot.
Are they all like junior colleges?
No, there's some state colleges there as well,
Wow.
and even a private college. Yes, they've got a lot. But it's probably because it's right there bordering so many states.
Yeah.
Dubuque is right along the Mississippi River, so it was industrialized quickly. The list of famous people that came from this town is extensive. I don't know if you ever look at Wikipedia and it has, oh, here's the list. Sometimes it's 10, 15. This literally had to section off the famous people from politicians to athletes to various other celebrities because it had that many. And I was impressed with this small town.
Interesting.
The crime rate in Dubuque is a smidge higher than the rest of the state of Iowa. The chances of becoming a victim of a violent crime here is 1 in 258, while Iowa as a whole is 1 in 332. Crystal Arensdorf was a 20-year-old woman described as kind, funny, and outgoing. She was a bit shy when she was younger, but was essentially coming into her own by the time she was 20. She grew up in a large family there in Dubuque, Iowa. She had 6 siblings. She was the baby of the family. And I swear the last few cases I have done with adults, they've been the baby of the family. I want to look into that stat. I don't know if it means anything or they're a little bit more carefree because they're the baby of the family, but it's very weird that I've had so many.
Yeah, that would be an interesting stat to track.
Yes. She was a natural caretaker. Even though she was the baby, she loved children and taking care of anything or anyone she possibly could. She lived with her boyfriend, Tim, and she worked as a house cleaner. One of Crystal's good friends, Dawn Walsh, stated, "She was kind. Even if you did something that could be upsetting, she never really said bad things about people. She was generally kind, loved kids, and was genuinely just sweet and beautiful. Her smile was infectious, and we would just lay there and laugh for hours." Many people miss her and are still looking for answers of what happened. On the night of July 3rd, 2001, Crystal went to a friend's house to watch fireworks. She was there with a few other people, including one of her sisters. After the sisters leave the friend's house, Crystal calls her boyfriend because she was supposed to pick him up. Apparently, something was wrong with his vehicle and she was supposed to go pick him up from somewhere. He was annoyed or angry with her that she hadn't already picked him up. So they have a brief argument over the phone. And Crystal decides to not pick him up at all. And he says he's going to walk home. So that's the end of that. And Crystal's annoyed at her boyfriend. So now she's like, "Hey, I'm going to go to the bar with some friends."
Yeah, go
And
blow off some steam, hang out with my friends. I get it.
exactly. So she goes to a local bar called Knicker's Saloon to meet up with friends. While she's at the bar, Crystal would make plans with one of the bartenders. His name was Robert, and they were going to share a cab after the bar closed and he got done with all of his work. This would have been around 2:30 a.m. on the 4th of July. But by the time he finished work, Crystal was nowhere to be found. He assumed she changed her mind, possibly went with friends, and he just ended up getting the cab on his own and going home. Crystal's sister had taken Crystal's car home. That way, Crystal wouldn't even think about drinking and driving.
Mhm.
She didn't have her vehicle there, so it's not like Crystal could have even driven herself home. All of the friends that were there with Crystal that day left at 2 a.m. when the bar was closing. And this is the last time that they saw Crystal. It was around 2. That was last call. Everybody's getting ready to leave. They see Crystal. They tell her, "Hey, we're heading out." They know she's supposed to be riding home with the bartender. That just ended up not happening. No one sees Crystal after this point. Her purse, keys, and all of her money would be found in the saloon. That would be the only trace left of this bubbly young woman. The following day, when Crystal's sister didn't hear from her about picking up her vehicle, she started to get worried. A missing persons report was filed, but police wouldn't really start searching immediately. She's an adult. They just assumed she's at a friend's house. You just don't know. She'll eventually turn up. The family said that was not like Crystal at all. So they took matters into their own hands. They started walking the streets. They knocked on doors asking if anyone had seen Crystal. Not much luck. Of course, they checked with all of her friends, local people, the bartender, literally anyone that they can think of. They spoke to before authorities ever started the search. It did take a couple of days, but then police started getting involved. And on July 16th, an organized search was conducted. This search was located in the area of Leisure Lake. This is a body of water, was about 25 minutes away from where Crystal was last seen. They searched this place because a few witnesses stated they saw a body floating in the water, and that kind of alerted to police to go out there, start checking it out. Police found nothing when they went out there. No sign of Crystal, no sign of a body, nothing like that. I'm not sure what the people saw or if someone may have already taken the body out, but that seems very I don't think people would call for a body if it really wasn't a body.
Yeah.
So, that is a little suspicious. That's really the main search that happened in Crystal's case. Other than that, the case went cold pretty quickly. Oh, police would follow up on 375 leads in that first month or two. And by October, Crystal's boyfriend has been completely eliminated as a person of interest. The bartender, he was not a person of interest either. So it was very difficult for police to move forward. All the main people that they would typically look at were already excluded from being a suspect. However, by this time, 3 other local men would be added to the list of possible persons of interest. Authorities would say these men were being looked at more intensely based on their alibi and the fact that they were less than cooperative during their interviews. 2 of the men were brothers living there in Dubuque and were also at Nicker's Saloon the night that Crystal disappeared. These 2 were even given polygraph tests. The results have never been released, but one news report did state that, and I want to put this in there exactly how they said it. They said certain persons of interest did not pass polygraph tests, which led me to believe that it was the 2 brothers because in all of this time, these 2 brothers have never been cleared. They are still persons of interest in Crystal's disappearance. One of the brothers' vehicles was searched as well. Now, in order to get a search warrant, they would have had to have some kind of probable cause, which could be the lie detector test, the failure of a lie detector test. I don't know. Is that enough to get a search warrant for a vehicle if someone fails a lie detector? I know
I
it's
don't know,
not a
because they're inadmissible in court. I don't know that police are going to I don't know that a judge is going to sign a warrant based on that alone.
exactly. So, if authorities were able to get a search warrant for this guy's car, they would have to have something substantial, at least to look at his vehicle. Now we have the other hand. Could one of these brothers offered up the vehicle? Go ahead, search it, which means they could have had nothing on him and a search was conducted just based on his permission. Another strange thing, both brothers moved out of the area just weeks after police started looking into them. They look into them, they break their lease, they quit their jobs, they literally leave Iowa completely just weeks after, which is weird as well if you
It's
find.
strange.
Yes.
Now that we're in our mid-30s, the whole new year, new me seems to hit a little harder than usual. I have learned that wellness doesn't just mean eating well. It encompasses several aspects like getting enough sleep, managing your stress, and taking care of your mind.
I found that Next Evo Natural CBD and their Smart Sorb technology can help more than your average CBD oil. Next Evo Natural works faster and absorbs 4 times better than regular CBD oil. They also have capsules, gummies, mints, or topical creams to help you de-stress, sleep better, or recover from a hard workout.
Being surrounded with true crime content daily can be incredibly stressful. Next Evo Naturals helps on those nights that I have trouble sleeping or when I'm feeling anxious. Their all natural products are backed by more scientific studies than any other CBD brand, giving me peace of mind knowing that what I am ingesting has been thoroughly tested.
Best of all, they are vegan, GMO-free, gluten-free, and THC-free capsules and gummies that come 100% from U.S. grown hemp. Make CBD a part of reaching your full potential. Try Next Evo Naturals capsules, gummies, mints, and topical creams with Smart Sorb technology, clinically proven to be better absorbed by your body.
Get 20% off your first order of $40 or more at nextevo.com/podcast and use promo code Cabernet.
That's 20% off at nextevo.com/podcast, promo code Cabernet. But maybe they were already planning on it. You never know. That's why I'm not stating their names. Their names are out there if you Google them. They've never been charged or convicted with anything when it comes to Crystal. Leave the opinions to you all if you want to look that up. But because they weren't charged or convicted of anything, I didn't feel like it was right to say their names on here because we don't know if they had anything to do with it. They are persons of interest, though. By May of 2002, less than a year after Crystal disappeared, that bartender at Knicker Saloon, he pleaded guilty to serving Crystal alcohol that night. She was 20, she was in a bar, and it's illegal in Iowa for anyone under 21 to be in a bar. I'm assuming they knew each other and that's why he let her in. It's still obviously illegal for him to serve her any type of alcohol. So the fact that he did, they went after him for that. He pled guilty, did a little time, and he's obviously out now. Like I said before, this bartender was never listed as a person of interest or suspect, probably because he had an airtight alibi from the cab company that dropped him off alone that night after Crystal didn't show up to share the cab. I would assume they checked that out right away. He was who she was supposed to be with. The fact he says she never showed up would be, and her friends never saw her leave, he would be my first go-to, the bartender. But if he left at 2:30 with a cab company, the cab driver says, nope, he was the only one in there, it pretty much debunks him being anything.
That's a pretty good alibi.
Yeah. The case went cold quickly, but that didn't stop the family, again, from trying all avenues to figure out what happened to Crystal. Psychics, random theories, and even cross-country sightings were a few of the things that the family looked into. They always stated that they would not stop until they knew what happened to Crystal. In 2005, one of those brothers, who was the person of interest in Crystal's case, was arrested for viciously beating and threatening to kill his girlfriend. And he was only with this woman about 6 weeks before this attack. This wasn't a
Oh my
long,
God.
drawn out, huge domestic violence situation that spanned years. They're barely together. I'm sorry. I barely know someone's favorite color within 6 weeks.
That's still the honeymoon phase.
Exactly. What could be going on? But I will tell you what actually was going on.
Oh.
He thought she was cheating on him because she was sitting in a vehicle with another guy. And he goes up to the vehicle. He says he's going to kill them both. He drags the girlfriend out of the vehicle and into his, where he then beats her, tries to strangle her to death, and then dumps her broken body in a parking lot. So, not a great guy. This one brother happened to have a lot more extensive rap sheet than the second brother. This one had DUIs, drug charges, few violent assaults, that type of thing, while the other brother only had, I'm using air quotes there, DUI type charges against him. In July of 2015, a promising tip came through to the Iowa Cold Case website. After a few years of basically nothing, the police were fired up again to solve this case. This tip stated the brothers, again, person of interest brothers, didn't drive their own cars the night that Crystal disappeared. And remember, I said one of the brothers had his car searched. Tip came in and said that they actually drove their sister's truck that night. So the fact that vehicle was never searched because it wasn't theirs.
So they said
means that,
they searched a vehicle that has no relevance at all?
yeah, they searched a vehicle that they thought the brothers would have been in that night. However, this tip that came in years later stated they weren't
Mhm.
even in that. It didn't state who made this tip.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if police know or not, but this tip said, hey, they weren't in their own vehicles, so searching their vehicles wouldn't show anything. They were in their sister's truck. They also stated in this tip where they currently worked and aliases they used so that police wouldn't be able to track them down a little bit more efficiently. That car that was searched originally, one of the brothers' cars, obviously they didn't find much in it. Otherwise, I believe if they found any forensic evidence that Crystal was in that vehicle, they would be in jail by now. But they do have a lack of evidence, especially since they have never found Crystal's remains if she is deceased. In September of 2020, the Knicker Saloon's basement was searched by Iowa State's major crime unit. This was in connection with Crystal's case, but they never elaborated on why it was searched or if they found anything. But that was just towards the end of 2020, so they could be still putting together a case against someone.
2020 was just like a hop, skip, and a jump ago. It was not
Oh,
long ago at
yes.
all.
Exactly, and that happened, like, during COVID, and they're still actively pursuing leads and searches, which is amazing. This case is over 20 years old. The fact that they're still
Wow.
doing that is amazing. The saloon released a statement on social media saying they were fully cooperating with authorities and have nothing to hide. There are workers of the saloon that also say, yes, the police spent all of their time in the basement. I don't know what that means as well. I think it's getting close. I don't know what, but it's getting close.
Something's happening.
A bunch of the forum sites, they say Crystal was friends with people that were into meth and could have possibly overdosed or been taken because of a drug situation. Police ruled this out because they found no evidence of Crystal directly or indirectly being involved in the meth scene. Authorities do believe this one will be solved. Considering they're still following the leads, conducting searches, it is a good sign that questions will eventually get answered for Crystal's family. Crystal was last seen wearing blue tinted soft contact lenses.
Oh, soft contacts. Yep.
I don't even know what are soft
Okay.
contacts?
So there's two different kinds of contacts. There's soft contacts and there's hard contacts. Soft ones are like what I wear, where they're pliable. You can bend them.
Okay.
There are hard ones that are made from hard plastic. It's just a
Oh,
different type of contact lens. So they're soft and hard.
okay, gotcha. She was also wearing a white polo t-shirt, tan shorts, black sandals, a gold chain necklace with an opal pendant, an opal ring, and a toe ring. She has a mole near her navel, and her ears are double pierced. This is a lot of jewelry, very
Mhm.
specific pieces that she had on that I feel if police were able to locate these items, it could steer this case in the right direction.
And it's very, she seems like she likes to accessorize a lot. So she would set apart from anybody else because she took pride in her appearance. She wore lots of different types of jewelry. So it's not just Jenny amongst 7 Jennies.
Yes, with a gold chain or
Yeah,
stud earrings, because literally everyone wears those, including myself. But
exactly.
yeah, her pieces were a bit of the unusual type. You have any information about Crystal's disappearance, please contact the Dubuque Police Department at 563-589-4429 or 563-587-3813. You can also send your tips into an email at nschlos@cityofdubuque.org. Dubuque is spelled Dubuque. There is a combined $12,500 reward for information in Crystal's case. I believe it was after the 10-year anniversary of her disappearance, an anonymous business donated $10,000 and her
Oh,
family had
wow.
put up the other 2,500.
Wow.
Yes, I know. It was amazing for that business to do this. Yeah, and remain anonymous. It's just I when people are helping out their community like that.
Me too.
So, her family, it's mixed about what her family believes. A lot believe there's no way she could still be alive after, and they do believe something nefarious happened. But of course, they still have that small sliver of hope that she's still alive.
Sure, because you don't want to get that.
Definitely not. And she was just like at the prime of her life, like getting ready to figure out everything she was going to become. At 20 years old, man, you think you have so much
Everything.
time. Yes,
And you think that you know everything.
exactly. But
Mhm.
that is Iowa.
Just by listening to our content, you too are advocating for justice for these families. Thank you for making a difference in their lives as well.
We want to share a few ways you can support us to continue our mission. You can become a Patreon subscriber for as little as $1 per month, or a simple rate and review on your favorite podcast platform helps us get in front of someone who may know something.
We will continue traveling state by state, seeking justice, because we will be there, no matter where,
no matter who.